Good afternoon, crafters and stampers. This is Kevon from ktstamps.com, creating cards for you. And today is Throw the Dice Thursday. Now, I've been doing so many swaps. I've been doing other cards. Everything may be messed up down here, but this is what I got. And yes, I've changed it. Die cuts, embossing, over the top. Congratulations, black and white are what we're supposed to be doing, but I decided that in the spirit of the holidays, we are creating black and white Christmas cards. Now this is a Z fold, and this card has been cased with different colors from Sue Campfield. Love that woman. If you have not had the opportunity to visit her, check out her blog, go watch some of her videos. She is incredible. So everything that I did really belongs to her with just a little bit of changes. Then the second card we are doing is one that I have been thinking about for a really long time, years. And I just decided I really wanted to do this snowman. So I decided to put it together. So we're going to do the Z card first. And with the Z card, a couple of things that we will need. And again, remember, all the dimensions and everything are on my blog. So go ahead and just check out the blog. You'll have 2 score marks. 1 score mark, you will go ahead and just fold the card in half. The next score mark, you're going to fold it in half again. And that makes our Z card. Okay, depending on how you want to look at it. So that's going to be our first step. Then the next thing, we're using the Merriest Moment, and this is all a bundle. And in that bundle, you have the dies, and then you also have the Merriest Frame Hybrid Embossing Folder. So we are going to use this great big frame, love it, and you need to make sure that you put this as much in the middle as possible. And it will give you then this nice little outline, and it will also give you the background for your white. Now that's one of the first things that we did, or that I did, or that Susan did. And then we put it in the embossing folder. Now I have not done the embossing folder because I wanted to show you how I cut this out. So the embossing folder will give you all these beautiful craftsmanship, the way that the leaves will look. Let me see if I can bring this underneath it. The way the leaves will look, the way that the holly will fall, everything that you need for all the tweaks and things for your Christmas, it will also help you out. But this is how it comes out after you use the embossing folder. With that, then, and this is how it will be, this is half of this frame. So you're going to cut the frame in half. And as you can see, this is the direction that we have the frame in right now. And when you cut that, there is this little area right here that you are going to cut up. And yes, one side will be longer than the other. And then this little area right up here, you will cut between where the leaves are, and then you're just going to cut straight down. So now on this, you can see that it lines up pretty well with the leaves. Okay, on the other side, oven. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. On the other side, it's going to line up with the leaves. So it's going to look like it goes from white into black. And on this one, then, we need to make sure that I get the right leaves going here, because then it will go from here right into the leaves, and these are the leaves, and starting on the corner. All right, so that's what we are looking for. And if I turn this over, it goes this way. This is where I have it. And you can see where I'm going to match it up at. And you may need to cut a little bit of this. All right, it's harder than it looks, but it's really easy in the end. All right, so that's where we're going to go. The first thing we're going to do is put the black in. And the black has already had the embossing folder and has been cut out. And remember, you're going to want to have this just a little longer than you think, because you want everything to fit on it. So it is barely going to fit on this back. You're going to feel like you're right at the very edge of everything, and you are. You want to be able to make sure that it comes as close to the end as possible. And I'm just going to scoot it down just a little bit. There we go. All right, inside here, inside the back, again, we did Versamark and then white embossing powder. Remember, we have the embossing kit, which comes with a plate where you can pour your embossing powder. Before you do that, you always want to use your embossing buddy, because it will pick up all the static, the hair, the little things that you catch in your stamps, and it will clean it right off before you stamp. You have a brush where you can clean around the edges, and I also have a smaller brush that I just bought to make sure that I have all the edges. And then when you heat set, all you're going to do is hold on to this as you heat set it. Okay, so that's what we are also using. So from here, this is just going to fit right inside. And I just laid it down flat. And I brought out my, looking like I am messy. Yes, this is a way that I do. My stamp room looks like it's a mess right now, because I just kind of throw everything together. I get really, really, really excited about stuff. All right, so here we are. This is going to go right in the middle. Now we're going to add on our front. We're going to take this and try to line it up with this folder. At the same time that we are doing that, we're taking the white piece on the inside, and it's just going to lay right down on top. And the folders should look like they are going together. So first we'll add this. And yes, you may need to cut a little bit off. All I have on the back of these are my little mini dimensionals. Okay, so it's going to take me just a minute to take all these off. Sometimes it may be easier to get out the pokey tool from your Take-A-Pick. It can be easier. Golly. And we're just going to try to pokey tool all of this around here. And yes, it does take some time. I thought about doing this before, but I really wanted to make sure that you guys got a chance to see what this looks like. And we are still peeling all of these off. We're only halfway there. And I'm really serious. This one is the biggest part of the die cut, and if you need to, feel free to cut it off because it's still going to look nice and it's going to look like it all goes together. But it will also feel like it's overhanging just a little. All right, so let's get rid of all these little dimensionals. And yes, this will take you the longest to try to get all the dimensionals on and then to take them all off. So again, we're going to just line this up. And put this on the bottom. All right, so that's how we're going to line that up. Now, when we glue this down, we only want to glue one side. And I have to move this just a minute. I guess not. There we go. We just want to glue down one side. And all I'm going to do is just add some right on the side. Not very much, about a quarter. There we go. And then there's none on the other side. And then from here, we are going to just stick on a Joyful Christmas. And I'm just going to add glue. It seems like glue's working a little bit easier than the... There we are. And that is, we're done as far as this goes. Doesn't that look great? I love how it just sits. I'm not going to move around because it seems like I'm carrying my cards now that I do that. So we are going to find ourselves a little flower. And I really enjoyed this because I really like the way that it just kind of sat in the corner, but yet really gave you the opportunity to see where the sentiment was. And all I'm going to do is bring out my glue dot, stick it on here, move it off, and stick it towards the bottom. And I just love how that just kind of shines just a little bit. Bringing out my Rhinestone Basic Jewels, going to add just a couple. Again, I like working in odd numbers, but like on my next one, I didn't do much odd numbers on that. So this just kind of focuses on the saying, and then I just wanted something that would just really add a little bit of sparkle to the black. And then really show off A Joyful Christmas. And that is all we did for this card. It's done. It looks stunning. It looks beautiful. I love this. And it was just really, for the most part, it was very easy. I also brought out my snips just in case when you cut this, you really want to make sure that I cut the bottom down here first using my snips. And then all I did was just made a straight line right up. And that's all I did to cut this. And then I made sure that when I put one side together, I turned my card over so it matched it. That was all. Then we have one last thing to do. There's no place to really write in there with the black and the white. So I just added a piece of basic white and just put it on the back so you can write your sentiment on the back. And that's how I did that. So we have a card that's, you can write on the back. I think it's beautiful. I love the way that it looks. So we got one card down, one more to go. And then here comes my favorite little Santa Claus, or my snowman. I am a real nut for snowman, for snow. I love it. So we are using the Snow Wonder bundle, and it also has the Snow Time dies. And here is this beautiful little snowman. I love the way that this snowman looks. And you can see that everything that I stamped with came from here. Whether it was the Merry Christmas or the Happy Christmas, which they usually say in, London, or whether we use Merry Christmas. It's just one that's just fun. And all I did was I stamped everything with our Memento ink. Sorry, I'm having issues with all these little things sticking all over the place. With Memento ink, I added my extremely love for the Stitch So Sweetly. And in this, all I did was use the first two big scalloped edges. I also used the Whimsical Woodland, and this is a 3D embossing folder. Again, all the dies, all the Snow Wonder, this Whimsical, they're all retired. So I just want you to know that. Some of you guys will have these hanging around. You gotta play with them, okay? You gotta play with them. And again, dimensions will be on my blog at www.ktstamps.com. Now the Whimsical Woodland, I used both on both whites. So I have it down here. I don't know if you can really see. I guess you can't really see. I have it here, and then I also have it on the white piece surrounding the snowman. I added a little color in this one. So sometimes you just have to add a little color. I have everything stamped and ready. You can see, I think, maybe not as well as I want. There's a little bit. You can see the embossing. There you go. You can see the embossing on this. All right, and I just have everything all ready to go. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to add the inside. And the inside is just the trees and sending you blessings, peace, magic this Christmas season. I love those words. I love the word blessing. It's such a heartful thing for me. All right, and here we go. We have this on, ready to go. Then we are going to take our piece of white, basic white again. Add a little bit of glue to it, and I will move this. I didn't notice that I had my light shining. There we go. So we will have this, and this is just going to go right on the front. And then I am taking my piece of the white with the stitch so softly. Scallops, I call them scallops. And I am just placing that on here, trying to center it. From here, I am, because I have right beside me some foam adhesive sheets, and this is all I'm going to do is pop this up because I did not bring my, oh, there's some in the corner. I'll get them for the snowman. These sheets, I love using these. They just make my life feel easy and takes up lots of space, but keeps the project popped up when you send it in the mail. And take off the back, and we are ready to put this on. And remember, when you put this on, you want to make sure that you put it on a little bit closer towards the top so you can get your sentiment at the bottom. So from here, I'm just going to try to center it from right and left. Add my words. And I'm going to use the foam adhesive again down below. This is so much fun. I love this. All right. And some of you guys are wondering about my thumbnail. I did so much on my swaps. I did a lot of heat setting. So as I heat set, it kind of melted my polish. And so it just started falling off. So sorry about that. All right, so now we have our snowman, and we die cut the snowman, and we are just going to add some bigger pieces on the snowman so it will stay pumped up and popped up. There we go. So you can see I have hair all over the place between me and my cats. Oh my goodness. We are all over the place. And I hope you guys are ready for the holidays. I hope that you will just have a great time with your family. So we are almost done with this. So now, what I did before I added anything, I made a solution that has my Stella and some alcohol. Now, I am still waiting on spritzers, but there are some spritzers that you mix these in. So I added a lot of alcohol, a lot of Stella. And now I'm just going to give the card a little bit of shine before we finish it. So all I'm doing is, I like to give it quite a bit. Here it is. You can already see the shine coming through. Oh my God, I love it. And it does smell a lot like alcohol. Woo! So from here, I'm going to just put a few things away. Excuse my hand coming across the beginning. You guys have the opportunity, if you want to case my cards, please feel free to do so. These are the Festive pearls. So I want to put just a red one down here because I really want to emphasize the Happy Christmas. And then I decided I love black and gold. And so I'm, instead of using silver, I'm using gold. And I'm using them for Mr. Frosty's buttons. All right, that's all I did. and the card is complete. So it's just a really nice card. And the same with this card. Black and white cards are just so awesome. I love them so much. So I will be back after the holidays. Otherwise, I just wish you the merriest holiday ever. All right, whatever you do, wherever you go, please make sure that you're sending out some handmade cards. Copy my cards, please. You can case them. Otherwise, this has been Kevon from ktstamps.com, creating cards for you. Happy holiday!